New spending numbers out this morning. The Commerce Department says the U.S. economy grew at an annual rate of just 1.5% from April through June as Americans cut back sharply on spending. Also this morning, the University of Hawaii Economic Research Organization has released a new forecast. And joining us this morning is Carl Bonham. He is the Executive Director of UHERO. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. So what do you make of the national numbers, and what's your forecast saying in terms of tourism hot, but broader growth still elusive? Well,
the national number was actually quite a bit as was expected. I think the consensus forecast was for 1.4% growth, and we got 1.5%, and our forecast for the whole year is about 2%. So it's pretty weak growth, which is part of why we think the rest of the economy in Hawaii is not doing that well. Overall, tourism, the data on tourism has been coming in for the last 2 years, very strong. Our forecast for the whole year is for over 9% growth, and yet overall job growth is just a little over 1%. And the big reason is, the other sectors of the economy just really they're not holding up.
So go more into your report. I mean, why is this? Because, in general, Americans are cutting back on spending. The economy's still sluggish. But, I mean, things are gangbusters in Waikiki, especially. Yep. I mean, you talk to some of the hotel folks, they say that they're at full capacity, and it's really hard to run.
Absolutely. Yeah, Waikiki would be at full capacity, and the state as a whole, the occupancy rate is going to be in the very high 70% range, which we haven't seen since 2004, 2005. So the tourism sector is booming. The reason the overall economy hasn't grown more rapidly is, we went through this big boom-bust cycle, and the bust really destroyed construction jobs. And the other sector that's still losing jobs is the government sector. So if you look at the first 6 months of the year, construction jobs are off almost 2%, and the government sector, the total government sector, is off a little bit less than 0.5%. So there's these countervailing features going on.
What about 2013? Is there hope for other sectors of the market?
Well, we think, and we've thought this before also, that construction has bottomed and that we'll begin to see pretty strong recovery. If you look specifically at Oahu, the situation for home building is about as good as it's been in 4 or 5 years. We've got home prices rising. We have record low mortgage rates. There's almost no inventory. And so we really think we're going to see private sector building, residential and non-residential building, and we're beginning to see the government sector pick up as well. And so, yes, our outlook for 2013 is better. Of course, there's risks, as always.
And I know that your report has some of those risks, and we can find a link to that report on your Facebook page. Carl Bonham, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Again, go to the Facebook page of UHERO. You can track what the economists are saying and find a link to that report. It's also on the As Seen On section of KITV.com. It is 6:39. We'll be right back.